Hi guys, so welcome back to the Knitting Expat Podcast channel. My name's Mina and I'm here today with a slightly different video than I normally record. It's not a spinning video, it's not a knitting video, it's not a podcast, it's not even really a vlog, but it's kind of, I guess, a creative experiment. So I picked up a few of these embroidery hoops with the intention of doing some like circular weavings on them, and I still intend to do that, but with one of these hoops, and probably just this hoop, I'm thinking of doing like some sort of wall hanging with just yarn from the bottom, leaving this bit empty, not doing a weaving, but just having like tassels dangling from it, or like a fringe. I'd seen a picture on Instagram of someone who'd done something like this, and it really piqued my interest, I guess. And I didn't want to just do it in one colour. I thought about it at first, but I thought it'd be really fun to do like a gradient so it changes. And I didn't have anything that I wanted to use already in my stash or in my handspan, so sorry, I'm still recovering from this cough. I carded up on my blending board, blended up a giant rolag, going from like a sparkly white to this red, and I sort of blended in some sparkly fibres in there as well. And I finished it as a single ply, and so I spun it relatively thick. It ended up being 50 grams, and I can't remember the yardage, but I think I got about 100 and something meters out of it in total. So Hugo's trying to get on the table. What are you doing, buddy? So my plan is I'm going to wind this up on my ball winder. Wish you could see Hugo trying to climb on the table right now because the chair's a bit too close. Okay, you up? Anyway, I'm going to wind this up on my ball winder and then sit down and give this a go and see how it turns out. Hello, Hugo. Do you want to wear the hoop? We'll give this a go, but first I need to clean up this table. There's a huge mess on it. I have like a bunch of Layla's paintings that she did up the other day that were drying. I have a bunch of like fibre and stuff that I pulled out of the cupboards to organise. It's quite funny, I didn't realise I'd left the cupboard door open. It's been like this since Monday. Today's Wednesday. Neither a cat nor a toddler have gone anywhere near my stuff, which is kind of a miracle, really. The cats actually don't care about yarn and fibre, thankfully, and Layla's really good with it, in fairness, and she's just stayed away with it. Actually, the other day, she came upstairs in the morning and she wanted to have like a little snack before going to nursery. Hugo. And she likes to sit at her chair at the table when she eats something, and her chair's at that end of the table. She came in and then she came back into the kitchen and was just like, "Mummy, move fibre, move your fibre," because my fibre and everything was in her way, so she couldn't sit in her chair, and she was just annoyed about the fact that my stuff was in her way. In the end, I just moved her chair to a different spot and it was fine. But yeah, I probably should get on with tidying that up. All right, so I'm gonna tidy this up quickly and then we'll get on with winding, because I need the space to be able to put my sift out. And this cat's tail keeps getting in my face. Okay, so I've found my ball of yarn, and what I'm gonna do is I've marked with a little bit of washi tape the length I want to cut, and I didn't really do anything other than taking the hoop and sort of looking roughly how long I want the longest part of this wall hanging to be, and then doubled it because it's gonna be doubled over. So then I just roughly want to cut lengths of this length. You could use a measuring tape, you could do it much more accurately. I'm kind of just doing it by eye. And I figured if it's a bit longer than I wanted, I can always trim it, but I'd rather it be too long to begin with than not long enough. So all I'm going to do is just pull out lengths of the yarn, and I did actually, when I set and dried this yarn, I did weight it. Normally you wouldn't weight your hand span, because when you soak it again after you've knit or crocheted with it, it will bounce back to whatever it wants to be. But because I'm not planning on washing this project once it's finished, it's going to be a wall hanging, so it's not going to be like a worn item that needs to be blocked in that regards. So in this case, I felt that not weighting it would be fine, and because it was hand spun, I wanted it to be as straight as possible when I did this, because I didn't want it to be all crinkling up on itself. Single ply is what I meant, not because it's hand spun, because it's single ply. This is just rough. It doesn't have to be super accurate, but that works quite well. So I pull out a couple of lengths and then kind of go back and forth a bit and then cut the loops. Okay, so we have all of our yarn cut up into strips now, and everything is just laid out in like the right gradient order. And so I think we should have a good amount of yarn to cover the bottom part of this hoop. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the best way of doing this. I'm guessing it's gonna be best to start in the middle and work outwards. And so since this like lighter red color is gonna be in the middle, I should probably start with that section and then work either side outwards to try and keep it even. So fingers crossed this works out well. So yeah, let's do this. Okay, so this first colour section that's going to go in the middle, I broke down into strips of 5 strands. This last one has 6, which is, it's fine, it'll do. And so I'm going to start with the 2 middle ones. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it in half and then sort of loop it around the bottom of the embroidery hoop and pull the tails through. So it's sort of like a slip knot type thing, if that makes sense. Okay, I'll show you with the next one. This one's going to go next to it. That's what it currently looks like, and so I'm just going to keep going, and as it looks like I'm going to have the lighter colours along this side and the darker colours going to that side, which is fine. And so this is going to be the middle. So I guess somewhere along here is going to be the longest point, and then I'm going to cut it into like a V shape. Okay, I'm gonna try and change up the camera angle and give you guys a better like view of what I'm actually doing. Okay, so put the loop, go under, then pull the loop up, grab the yarn tails and pull it through like that. I hope that makes sense. I'm so happy with how that turned out. That is so cute. That is really darn cute. It's pretty darn adorable. I did have a little bit more of the white left over, which is fine. What I might do is I might wrap a little bit at the top and create like a handle. I might not. I might just leave it as it is, to be honest. I quite like the simplicity of it and how simple it looks. I'm planning on having this hung up in Layla's room, I think. I think she'd really like it. If you couldn't tell, I went with her colours of red. But I think this would be a really cute idea for, like, you could do Christmas theme, do it for like Christmas decoration or like a baby shower gift. It really took no time at all to make it. And obviously you don't have to use handspun, you can use any yarn that you have in your stash, or like acrylic yarn would be great for something like this that you want to use up. All I need to do now is I need to go ahead and trim the bottom bit, which I need to think a little bit about how I'm going to do that without messing up the lines and making it too uneven. What I might do is I might mark a V on the table with washi tape and then cut along that as a line to cut against. We shall see. Okay, so what I ended up doing was I washi taped just the top here to stick it of the hoop, just to stick it down to the table so it wouldn't move around too much. And then I found a couple of pieces of paper that I've just taped to the table to use as a bit of a guide to cut along those edges. Now I'm not going for perfection. There are some of these strands that are already shorter than the edge of that piece of paper, but I just kind of want a generally neater edge at the bottom here. And all I would suggest is that you use some sharp scissors. I've got some kitchen scissors that are pretty sharp. If I had them, I would use my fabric scissors, but I believe my mum has my fabric scissors with my sewing machine, so I don't have those handy right now to be able to use those. So I'm just going to use these kitchen scissors. It should do the job, but you just want some nice sharp scissors so you're not like hacking away at it for too long. So let's do this. Alright, I think that looks pretty cute. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm just going to hang it up somewhere so I can show you what it looks like finished. And so here's the finished piece. Made a little hanging loop from the leftover bits.